Hello, and welcome back to Monotonous Minecraft, episode 91. You know, this place is ugly. I mean, obviously, that's beautiful. And I love how the render distance, or whatever causes this in Bedrock, is so pointless. So short that the smokestacks are pointless. You can't see them unless you get really close and crane your neck up high. Come on, there you go. Wow, what a great effect. This totally looks realistic. I know, this guy gets it. So what I'm going to do, on the way to fixing this trading hall, which doesn't work at all because the villagers can't figure out that the workstation in front of them is the one they should be using, so none of them reset, is beautify the city. Yes, it is a city. For those of you who haven't gone back and watched all my old videos from I don't even know how long ago, this is actually two villages I merged together. And, well, it's still technically two villages. Neither version has really allowed me to expand this out to one giant village, or city, as it would be called. But we're going to make it look like one. So we'll probably have two different sets of villagers, essentially. But if we fill in some more buildings in the middle here, and, I don't know, maybe that'll work. We'll see. So right now, off the top of my head, my plan is this area over here will be more of the agricultural or slash city park space. And then this will be some more industrial stuff next to the big factory we have here. And the other places will just be, you know, housing, buildings. Maybe we'll throw up some shops. Actually, we probably will throw up some shops. It's getting dark. Go to bed. And just make it look like a nice little city. Okay, I've talked long enough that it's actually gotten dark out. So I'm going to sleep, I'm going to build, and I'm going to cut most of what I just said. Between having to mine around things that will kill you if you hit them, and things that this thing will kill you if you hit them, and also going on a wild goose chase because there's zombie sounds around here. Is it you? This took me a lot longer just to wrap this in one little roadway of andesite. I did find a probable zombie spawner. I didn't check it out. I saw the cobblestone from a distance down in a cave, and I marked about the spot it will be. I didn't notice how deep it was. That'll be something we can explore later. I'm glad it's outside the village for right now. These three sandstone marks the stairway down into a little cave down here, and I followed it around, bloop, 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 and down. I was lighting some stuff up, looking for the zombie. I've been hearing over here for months when I stand around here. I know I could just dig down around here, but I figure at this point, I'll probably find it while building the city. So, there we go. My point is, this could take a long time. I think what I'm going to do is build the roadway type thing around these houses. I kind of want to keep this industrial look, so I'll figure out what I want to wrap those in. My roads are going to be all andesite because they kind of look like little roadways. Like beaten up cement, which is what a lot of our roads out here are. Not just tarmac. Tarmacadum, as the Brits would say. But, you know, with their accent, not mine. And, yeah, if this is a park, do I want trees? Technically, but trees kind of bother me. Only because it's a flat world. I mean, trees are fine. I like trees. I like trees in real life, but just not, you know, not in my village city. In the meantime, my first priority is going to be putting in, like, essentially wrapping all the existing buildings in some sort of fanciful way, much like I did there. And all the buildings I added are built into my lighting grid, so it'll work out really nice. The naturally spawning ones, not so much. This is the template for how I'm going to do the ground around each one of these little block houses. 3 rows of polished granite slabs, save material. Sea lanterns in front of each of the steps, and lanterns around the sides. And as you can see, like, so if I'm at the back of one, there'll also be a lantern. I mean, assuming... Here's a proper back. This will be a lantern. I've got lots of iron. My very slow iron farm is working fine. Plus I collected a bunch on a really fast iron farm. Plus I keep harvesting iron when I see iron ore. So let me do this like 21 more times and we'll check back in. I finished surrounding all these houses with I should say, granite, polished granite. And when you're far away, you can't tell at all. This ugly monstrosity takes over everything. And that took, I don't know, 2 hours? That's not even a lot. There's a lot of caves underneath I had to make sure I didn't fall into. There's a ravine over there, there's a bunch of caves over here. Real fun. Most of them got lit up, months ago or years ago when I built these houses, but I don't want to fall. I don't want to lose the villagers. And I don't know why they have a meeting over here, but it makes me think that there's some sort of bad guy right underneath this spot. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is on this old village section, do something. Now what do I want to do? That I could do the path all the way around. That's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Let's make this entire village path blocks. I'm sure that'll cause some problems at some point, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I spent a bunch of time working on the village here, and then I got bored with it. Because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the parts that aren't path. Some of the rock path I turned into gravel, and the grass path I turned into, grass path, I guess. But then I was like, well, we got a park going over here, so let's work on the park. So much like the factory, I outlined it in our road here, and then I used some of the acacia to outline what will eventually be the park. So these trees are coming down, I'm just using them for wood, and I do not know why these llamas keep lining up everywhere. And then you look at them, they run away because they get scared. So the next part I'm going to work on is something else, I don't know what. But when you jump back, you'll see what it is. Because I'll have figured it out and then recorded it, and then we'll be there. And here we have it. Much cleaner. Okay, it's not not quite done. There's some bits over here and way there in the distance, and behind these houses is terrible, and that corner's okay. So what I've decided to do is, because these two villages are, different biomes. So we've got the desert and I don't know what the heck this one is. It's kind of ugly. So this part is going to be, whoops. Those who walk on roofs fall off of roofs. This one's going to be more the desert color. So I left sand in here, but I replaced any other blocks that wasn't sand or sandstone with sandstone. There's a bit of ravine going through these houses, I think. It's really annoying. Haven't fallen and died yet, though. Did do some more caving and lighting up of caves underneath both of these villages. This space over here is going to be a new building. A bit of I think it's going to be barracks. Like, I think this is going to be the sleeping spot for villagers and move all the beds over here. And then I'll turn all that into a workstation. So rather than trying to lock villagers up in here in the trading hall like I have now, which doesn't work. Hey, look, free carrots. Since they are always screwed up, and even if you do different tricks to let them go through, who knows? I don't trust villager trading anymore. So I might just turn this into just nothing but workstations of both villages. So they'll sleep in the one building, they'll work here, and that way I can at least find them twice a day in here working, and I can do trades. And this side will be, replace all this stone over here with dirt, and I'll do the same thing over there, and it'll eventually grow in the grass. And then, as I mentioned before, this will be some sort of park area. Maybe a zoo? Like Brooklyn Zoo style? Maybe English garden style? I don't know. It'll be fun to figure that out. And then I don't know exactly what I'll do with this bit over here, but I feel like I should do something because we've got the train station. Like, fence it off or something. And speaking of fence, I haven't put much thought into outside gate fence stuff at all. I may do something with that eventually, I may not. I did start using some bushes. Speaking of bushes, I've hit villagers and iron golems a few times doing all this floor replacement. I haven't died. I've run away a couple times, and it turns out my armor can take quite a hit from an iron golem, so that's helpful. It also turns out, as I looked up above one from above, that the back of their heads look like toasters. They were toasters for hats. Oh yeah, this part also has not been cleaned up. But it'll be the same kind of demarcation. You can see where it is, like around here, so we'll have the sand going through here. And from this point on, it'll be grass. And then outside of the gate will just be natural. I'm not trying to change the whole world here. So, yeah, I think we got a good place. I have not placed the water yet because that took an hour on the last one. This is smaller, but still. Because unlike in Java, you can't just put two water sources a thing apart and have one create in the middle. No, that doesn't work. Doesn't work in Legacy Console, doesn't work in Bedrock. So, yay. Fun. As far as all these barracks that have beds and stuff in them, I don't know. We'll figure something out. I'll leave the buildings here if nothing else. But I'm definitely going to take the workstations out of them. And I may end up still having to split these, like treat these as two different villages. But for now, I'm going to try to treat them as one and see if the villagers kind of learn where their stuff is. I don't know. It'll be curious to see. So next episode, look forward to me breaking my villagers even more, or possibly fixing them. Because right now I just don't trade with them at all. Like, what are you? You got a book. You got book lag. Is that a thing? Book lag? Oh my god. Lag is super a thing. Bane of Arthropods 3 for 25. Wow, I don't need that ever. So, okay, they're not all winners. Another thing I thought of doing was making these both workstation buildings, and this would be all librarians, and that would be all non-librarians. So maybe that kind of thing will work too. Maybe I'll build a library. There's a lot of space right here. It'd be kind of sweet. Alright, I'll consider that. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you. If you skipped ahead this far, thanks. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to everyone later.